Okay, now this is the teenager challenge. Right now, I'm challenging all you men, young adults, who are teenagers and 20-somethings. I'm challenging you. I want you to pretend that you are somewhere far away from where you've ever been before, like somewhere in Africa, and you are being handed a 10 to 15-year-old young adult. You're being handed a young adult, and you're going to guide their life, and you're going to look out for them. They're basically going to be your foster child. You're being handed an adult, 10 years old to 15 years old. Now, I promise you that you're going to be given a career and a way of making money and putting food on the table. You are going to be given a career, and that's going to be okay. And you're also going to be given a spouse, a woman, to enjoy, who supports you. You're going to be given a woman. But before anything else, you're going to be given a child, 10 years old to 15 years old. What are you going to do with that child? You got to figure that out. Yes, yes?
Yeah, go ahead, I'll follow you.
Oh, okay, cool. You're going to be given a child, and it's your responsibility to figure out how you're going to teach them and train them. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to instill in them a comfort with communicating with the mind of God? How are you going to teach them how to talk to God and ask questions? How are you going to teach them how to be unified with other human beings in Jesus Christ? How are you going to teach them how to literally befriend Jesus and do work for Jesus as they are going out in this world? You're done. You have no more parents. You're cut off from everything. No parents, nothing familiar. The most important thing is you are handed a young adult, 10 to 15 years old, or 13 to 17 years old. A human being that's about to be reproductive. They can make a baby real soon. Remember, they say that Jesus' mommy had her baby when she was 15 or 16 years old. So don't be surprised if that child that you're taking care of might actually become a pregnant child or create a pregnancy, like the crisis pregnancy that created me, or the crisis pregnancy that started some of the families that I'm connected with. A surprise pregnancy is always a possibility, and that's okay. Remember Judah and Tamar. Judah was feeling like having some pleasure, and he ended up making a baby, and it turned out to be the baby that God was trying to make for a long, long time. It's a really interesting story. Okay, so you are responsible for raising a child that becomes your child. Your career and your supply is going to be okay. Your woman is going to show up, and she's going to be okay. But before you guys make a baby, you, buddy, my friend, you are going to be a father to a child that has been neglected, abused, probably sexually fooled around with, and sad and lonesome. You're going to be taking care of a human being that has not had proper care. And you're going to do a great job of it, because you know what? You've had great parents. And you have had a comfortable environment to grow up in. We are all rich, fat, comfortable, and we live in America, and they didn't drag us out of our cell and torture us, like chop off our fingers and beat us because we're trying to stay connected with Jesus. You are okay. But I want you to start thinking for yourself, and not just thinking about money and the things you want to do in this world, but you are thinking about caring for a rejected, fatherless, orphan child. You are going to be caring for a child. You, buddy. And you need to plan that. And you need to figure out what's missing. You need to start asking questions. How do I do this and how do I do that? And I feel like I need more of this. You need to sit down and figure out what you need to know that you haven't yet learned. This is the beginning. And I'm going to start to teach you. The number one thing I'm going to start to teach you is how to bless the female human beings for 14 days around when she has her cycle. Because I'm telling you, the man has the fun. He gets to plant the babies. But the woman has a work. And it doesn't mean the man isn't working. But the woman body is literally the servant of the family. And so if you really read between the lines in Leviticus 12 and Leviticus 15, number 1, the girl child gets 80 days of nurture because she's going to have a rougher life than the boy child. The boy child gets 40 days of nurture from the family and the mommy. When the woman is untouchable with the son, that means she gets extra space, extra relaxing time, extra love and care, extra cookies and strawberries and consideration from everyone in the family. That's what the captain of the house is directing. It's like, hey, your mommy is taking care of your tiny little sister for 80 days, and you can't mess with mommy. Don't whine to mommy right now. She is taking care of that baby like she took care of you. 80 days for the girl, 40 days for the boy. That's amazing. What else is God saying? He's saying that we should be putting extra love and blessings and honor and care on the fertile woman body. When the girl starts having her cycles, she gets extra care and attention from the whole family. Because that's not an easy thing. It's a strange and difficult thing. And it's Adam's fault. Do you realize that women would not have a period if Adam had not eaten that fruit? It wasn't Eve's fault. It was Adam's fault. Adam brought death into the world because he disobeyed. Eve was just doing what comes natural, and she is not accused. Adam is accused, and because of Adam, the woman has pain in the bringing forth of child and the cycle. She has the cycle. If you look at the whole mammal world, in the mammal world, there are no bloody menses as a normal part of life. That's only in the female human being. And now people are going to rise up and argue against that. But in general, in the lion's share, in the overall view of mammals, it is the human woman that has discomfort, pain, and bloody menses. all of the other mammals, the uterine lining is resorbed by the body. It just goes away into the body, and it's drawn up and it disappears, and it's used as caloric energy. Only in the female human being is there bloody menses. And that's fascinating. And you should care about that. And that means that we as a family who are no longer in the Garden of Eden need to follow the things that our friend, our God, gave us these guidelines so we don't go too crazy. So the first thing in my list of Jesus goodies is learn how to write out 14 days of happy encouragements and blessings for any girl who's turning into a woman in your household, in your family. And you brothers, that means that you're going to be prepared when you have a girlfriend. You're going to say, oh, listen, well, tell me what day your cycle starts, because I have 14 days of blessings for you to read, so you can understand what I think about you. And what I've learned about the woman form and how awesome it is. The woman form is the greatest gift to all of the creation before Jesus. Since our parents broke the Garden of Eden, Jesus had to show up and fix things. And he's more beautiful than the woman. And when God and a woman get together, the greatest thing happens, which is Jesus. There was no man involved. That's kind of cool, you know? So, little brothers, I am challenging you to stop relying on mommy and daddy voice. Take everything that you've learned and start putting it into practice and figure out where you are deficient. Because I'm telling you, I was robbed. The elders and the parents around me did not train me. They did not train me in the stuff that I needed to know. I didn't learn how to care for a woman. I didn't learn all these things that I'm thinking with you about. This is really cool stuff. Here we go, here we go. Here we go, here we go. Come on, buddy boy. You are an adult human being. I know areas of Africa where all these people came in with machine guns and they shot all of the mothers and fathers, and the little children ran away. And the little children, 10, 12, 13, 15 years old, the little children are actually picking up orphans, and they're caring for their own brothers and sisters, and they're also picking up other orphans and caring for them. And they ain't but 15, 16, 17 years old, and they do just fine. They figure out food to eat. They figure out how to make some money. They figure out what they're doing. They figure out sleeping places. They figure out who's going to wipe the little kids' bottoms when they get poopy. They figure out where we're going to round up some clothes. They figure out where we're going to go if there's an emergency and we need a doctor. They figure out everything.